Brother, you have to be monetized before you can get demonetized.
Bud,
what makes you think
I don't want to get monetized only to... No, the only thing worse than getting demonetized is being told that you will never be monetized. That is demonetized plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my least favorite cards in Magic is demonetized
plus.
Revelation. Demonetized Revelation.
An email from Twitch is like
demonetized tutor.
Yeah, man, you can't smoke crack on Twitch.
Yo, you can't be doing blow on Twitch.
And don't tell me that you didn't read the TOS. You don't need to read the TOS to know that you can't do.
I remember there used to be back in
on Twitch.
Back in the yonder days of iTunes, back in like the 2000s. One of the early versions of iTunes terms of service, if you went further down, like if you went down like 80% of the way down, there was a clause in there that says that you were not allowed to use iTunes as a part of a weapon of mass destruction. And I was like,
why would you ever say
and I was like,
that?
then why'd you put U2 on here?
That's a weapon of mass. You know what? That was an important lesson. I'm glad that U2 put their album on everyone's phone and it pissed people off. Yeah. Because I would have had the same thought that Bono had, which is, well, if they don't want the album, they just won't listen to it, man. Who gets mad at a free thing? Everybody.
Everybody did. Nobody wanted that U2 album.
Everybody.
Nobody wanted that U2 album.
About an album that they did not have to listen to, that they got for free, that took 3 button clicks to get rid of forever. That made everybody mad. And that was an important lesson to me. Because I would have thought, hey, just give people a thing for free, that they have no choice in the matter. Well, people want to have a choice.
They will revolt.
People complain when Oprah gave them a car. They're like, how am I supposed to pay taxes on this car?
It might have gone over better if it wasn't specifically U2. Like, I don't know. U2 was 20 years past their prime. And I'm not a fan of even their good stuff. Like, I'm not really a U2
What do you
guy.
consider their prime?
I mean, like, I guess when I talk about their prime, I'm like, when they, like, songs like when the streets had no name, but the street with no name or whatever it is came out, like some of their,
so you thought 80s U2 was prime and not when they were actually commercially successful in the very late 90s?
Well, I think they were only commercially successful in the late 90s because people were like trying to make them happen. Like, I think they had a really good PR team.
But anyway, folks,
so we're building Magic.
We can't give you a shitty $50 deck because even if
they'll mail it back to you,
and you don't have to do anything with the deck, people won't enter the drawing if they don't like the deck.
Yeah.
So that was important to us. We are not ever going to make a U2 album quality deck on this stream.
Much worse.
We will make a U2's greatest hits. Perhaps could be an acceptable album. Right, I will controversially say that U2
honestly, let me pull
has 4 or 5 solid bangers.
I could probably name you, like, I think that one that I named you is the one I could name, and I'm not even sure I got the title right. Let's see here.
Now, War's good.
Okay.
Bullet the Blue Sky is a good song.
Okay, so With or Without You and Sunday Bloody Sunday, I've heard for sure. Sunday Bloody Sunday is okay.
Oh, War is the name of that album. Or something.
Where the Streets Have No Name. That's like
I hate that song. See, we don't even agree on which U2 songs are bangers. Very controversial band.
Well, actually we do agree.
Keep your
because
free album to yourself.
We both agree that is not a banger song because U2 has no bangers.
I think Bullet the Blue Sky is a banger.
I think
it's so good. It sounds like somebody else wrote it.
It's just not a good song. I mean, U2,
whatever, man.
In my opinion, is just not a good band. I have no interest in you. U2. Here's an actual legit good hot take. I think the Eagles are a tremendously boring band, and I put U2 in the exact same category.
You think the Eagles are boring?
They're boring. They're just boring. I don't know. I like, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with the Eagles, but I just don't care about the Eagles. Like, I would never pay money to go see them.
Oh, well, I don't think the Rolling Stones are boring, but I don't care for them at all.
Like, I don't think they're like, I don't think the Eagles are actively bad. I just think they're the most mediocre band in history.
They are the best selling band in history.
I know they are.
Of course they are.
That's because lots of people have terrible taste in music.
I think if you don't like the Eagles' Hell Freezes Over album, then you're an asshole. That album's perfect.
There is like every Eagles song sounds basically the same. And,
That's ridiculous. They had different singers. What are you talking about?
and yet they wrote the same and yet they wrote the same song. Yet they wrote the same song.
Oh my God.
I don't know what to tell you, but the Eagles are just mediocre. They just are. They're fine. Like there's nothing wrong with the Eagles, but like they're not special.
You're going to tell me Those Shoes sounds like Hotel California. You did. You made me defend the Eagles. God damn it. That's a very hot take.
I know it is. I know that I'm in the minority on that take, but I just like don't care about the Eagles. I just don't.
It's not controversial to not care about a band that like peaked before you were born, dude.
Ooh, that entire genre is mediocre. A-List already firing off some decent. Now, when you're talking about genre, are you talking about like 80s like stadium rock, or what are you talking about here? Which that's not really what the Eagles are. Eagles are more like 70s.
Eagles.
Eagles are more like, I guess, I don't know. What does Google say?
They're closer to Fleetwood Mac than they are.
Yeah, I mean they're more like they're like Fleetwood Mac, like the 70s type rock.
I don't like how I said I said it like Van Halen.
So Wikipedia says they're country rock, soft rock, or folk rock. Folk rock is probably the closest thing I would describe them as.
About half their stuff's
like folk rock, acid rock, that type of thing. Like they're closer to like the Grateful Dead and Fleetwood Mac and stuff like that than they are to like 80s stuff, I guess.
They're Skinner.
You know
Skinner
what?
Had talent.
I might be ready to jump kind of half on that bandwagon.
What bandwagon? That the Eagles are acceptable because they're.
Wait, you put One Republic in it, but One Republic's like a pop band. They're like a pop group. One Republic.
We're out of our wheelhouse, and that's why.
No, this is actually precisely my wheelhouse.
Okay, we're out of this show's wheelhouse.
Okay, fair enough.
We are supposed to like teach people about EDH Rec at some point. Right?
Okay, so you're just calling like soft poppy rock. Okay, sure.
Yacht rock.
Yacht rock. Well, Eagles. I guess Eagles is kind of.
Eagles are like half of the Eagle shit is very.
It's kind of yacht rock, yeah. So this is a East on the Watering Bard deck.
We thought about Sab Sunnin.
Yeah, we did think about Frog
I'm pretty
Mommy.
sure we're going to build Aether Drift. I realize it's the fourth set down on EDH Rec right now because they have done nothing but show us one or two cards from every set they've planned until 2028. That's fine. We're going to ignore all that. Let's focus on Aether Drift because I feel like we haven't plumbed the depths of Aether Drift.
Is there
what
some
got
like
me
really
inspired was that Dawn from EDH Rec said he was building a Mimeoplasm Revered One deck.
Yeah.
Where all the stuff you put in your graveyard are creatures where their ability involves taking 1/1 counters off. So I think that's a really cool take, and that got me inspired to do something similarly clever with one of these commanders we haven't built yet.
Well, I mean, Mimeoplasm just with what it is. Honestly, actually, what it is, you know what it is? It is a new version in Sultai of Merso the Pretender.
Yeah, but better because
obviously it's better, but like
it was all it. But that was the deck, right?
Merso the Pretender is exclusively a combo deck.
That legacy deck with the Phyrexian Devourer. Yeah, that was a fun deck.
I don't know anything about Legacy.
Right,
but
that's true. You don't
because you know why? Because I'm not old. That's why.
I kind of like Gonti. That Gonti's kind of.
Gonti Nightman. He's your kink.
Two black with their cards. That's fun. That's like a thing you have to like to do.
Whenever a player casts a spell, they don't own, that player creates a treasure token. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller looks at the top card of that opponent's line. This is fun. It's like mono black goad.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like Gonti. This is fun. So it's whenever a player casts a spell they don't own, the player creates a treasure token. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller looks at the top card of that opponent's line and exile face down. They can play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Hoopy doofy. Mana may type can be spent to cast this way. So you've played Gonti and you like try to find other ways to punish them for casting other people's stuff. Maybe. You already got Goad kind of built in because you're getting a free spell that you can cast at some point and you don't have to worry about the mana. And when they cast it, they get a mana back with a treasure token.
Yeah, everyone gets this. What I like about this is your first instinct wasn't this is how we play their spells. Your first instinct was, oh, this is going to make the table punch the table. And you know what?
Right.
I want the table to punch the
This
table.
is group slug.
So why don't we assault suit?
Gonti assault suit is
Gonti assault suit. Why don't we do that?
That's incredibly funny. That's what we're doing. It's Gonti assault suit. Gonti Knight Minister is going to be our commander. Okay.
Why are you playing Calexion the Hunger Tyrant in this deck, Jason? Well, just wait. I will equip Bloodthirsty Blade.
All right, let's see. Is there any other stuff like I wonder if is there any like weird bad shit we can give to other people to beat the shit out of each other with?
Of course.
Like if we look at like what is that?
The only thing funnier than giving somebody a leveler is them surviving to hit somebody with a leveler.
Okay, let me edit the stream title just so that we have people have it in there so people aren't.
Change it to Communal Brewing with what is it? Nuts and Trashy. I kept saying Nuts and Scratchy.
You kept saying Scratchy, yeah, and that was problematic.
Yeah. Because you can't say Scratchy Nuts. Yeah. And you put it in the other order.
Scratchy Nuts. So Communal Brewing.
What? Why did you try to make Scratchy Nuts your catchphrase?
Because if you say anything in a Boston accent, it immediately becomes a catchphrase.
That was your Boston accent?
No, it wasn't. I'm just saying, if you do, that's like a fact of life. If you say a phrase in a Boston accent, it immediately becomes a catchphrase. Say anything, like literally, like say assault.
I'm the guy that knows how to build a deck. You must be the other guy.
Say assault suit in a Boston accent.
Salt suit.
See?
Oh, you know what?
That's a phrase. Congratulations. That's your catchphrase.
Was it a GP during Scars? And I sat down across from this dude. I was like, hey, man, I'm from Michigan. And he's like, I'm from Boston. I was like, how's your seal pool look? He's like, I got so many me. Look at this. I got me Enforcer. I got Silver me. I got me Battlesphere. It was just so funny. He kept saying me. Me.
Classic. Johnny Renicus. This was the. Wait a second. Why is Assault Suit's #1 commander John Arenicus?
Because of us.
Why?
The Baltimore accent.
Why?
More like
why?
It's like Yinzer, like.
But like what? But
hung out
why?
in Boston a little bit.
Why?
Baltimore is a tricky.
Why is John Arenicus the #1 commander for Assault Suit? For Assault Suit, why is John Arenicus the #1 commander?
Because that's very funny.
It's incredibly funny that is like the thing, but why? Why is this?
Target opponent gain control of a creature you control with Assault Suit on it. I don't know.
I guess,
and then it's goaded and it can't be sacked. It makes your Assault Suit creature better.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. In my head, I was like, you would be putting it on John Arenicus, and I was like, that's fucking crazy.
No, you suit up a creature.
Yeah,
and
you suit up everything else. Yeah.
Every attack phase, you draw a card because somebody attacks someone else. You draw a card. Someone attacks someone else. That's why it's the #1 card in John Arenicus.
Oh yeah, Ayla's at the Baltimore accent's hilarious when they try to like because I've seen that short where he's like saying Aaron earned an iron earn, but he's like earn and earn. I was like, oh my god, this is terrible.
I know. I'm 100% Yinzer.
Earn.
Speak that, but Baltimore's pretty close. People use John with Flashback Marauder.
Okay, so
I like the Assault Suit. So what
I kind of want to dip. I was just gonna say I want to dip into John Arenicus here.
I
want to
see if there's any other shenanigans that we could borrow because we have access to all of John Arenicus's black cards. So if there's anything stupid,
that's what I'm saying. Dude, John Arenicus has the dumbest shit you can think of.
Is running the Gonti too.
It's like you can John Arenicus has
sacrifice if you put the Assault Suit on him. That's the important part.
Yeah, John has the dumbest shit you can think of.
Abyssal Persecutor, Archfiend of the Dross. Yeah,
Flesh Reaver. Whenever Flesh Reaver deals combat damage to a creature opponent, Flesh Reaver deals that much damage to you. Fucking disgusting.
Well, how are we gonna? We're not gonna give them Flesh Reaver with Gonti. We can't really give them anything.
Yeah, let's see. There's got to be something Well, they
can just opt not to cast any card from our deck, so that
Well, they can't cast any cards from our deck because Gonti says whenever a creature does combat damage to one of your opponents, they can look at that. So what we need to do,
if they have if you're not going to assault suit Gonti then?
You could assault suit Gonti.
Akron Horse, yes, the horse from Ohio. That works too.
Akron Horse.
The funniest typos are when what you type as an actual word. That's funny to me. I was just in
the Akron Horse.
I was freezing to death watching the most boring hockey game first period of all time.
Oh yeah, there you go. Akron Horse. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool card.
That's the kind of weird shit we want.
But yeah, everybody having the 1/1 sold. No, actually, you know what? If they get the 1/1 soldiers, they'll have blockers. It makes it harder for Gonti to.
It makes it harder for Gonti to trigger. But what it does is, no matter what, you're still getting people more stuff to swing at other people. Going wide is great because you're gonna they're gonna, no matter what, you're gonna eventually have an imbalance of soldiers and just keep beating the shit out of each other. It's great. You give them more ammo. Okay, so. I don't know if we want to look at the creatures as much on this, but we want to look at,
or we could just run ways to make our creatures unblockable to make sure we're the only ones triggering guns.
We could do that.
The Crone Horse actually gums up the board and makes it harder.
How about
if we make our creatures unblockable? Hold on.
Let's point this out here real quick since we're in the bracket, since we've got this on screen. That Idiot Trek now has a new game changers section so any game changers that are applicable to this deck. They're all labeled with the GC there, so that way you can see if you're trying to fit a certain bracket that you can say, okay, this is a game changer I'm slapping in here. You don't have to try to memorize the list or anything.
In the future, I'd love to see a toggle where you could just take the game changers out.
Just can't change it out. Yeah, take it out completely. You might be able. You might be able to if you just filter down below $10 in this particular scenario. Okay, I think
you know what
what if we played like curses? Is there like there's some okay curses. Like here, Heartless Summoning. Creature spells cost 2 less to cast, but creatures. I mean, we don't care about the -1/-1, but it makes everybody else's creatures cheaper when they cast other people's shit.
It makes their Crone Horse's creatures dead. Oh, it's just your.
Oh, it's our creatures. Yeah.
That's right. It's Heartless Summoning, not Heartless Summoning of Soul's Betrayal.
Or like Parasitic Impetus. Like it goads a creature. It actually goads a creature, and when it attacks, the controller loses 2 life and you gain 2 life.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of goad in black, and I think we should be doing as much as we can.
Yeah,
Ghoulish Impetus also.
Ghoulish Impetus is also $3.30. We can throw it in, but that might be a
guarantee we are going to be way under $50.
Yeah, that will probably be. Oh man, I wish it wasn't a $15 card. No Mercy would be hilarious in this deck.
Yeah,
that'd be disgusting.
But like there are Crawl Space is kind of a better No Mercy because it's like you might as well attack my opponents because you can only attack me with 1 or 2 creatures. So you should still swing at my opponent.
It's kind of
like
it's almost like
Space.
It's almost like a functional. It's functionally kind of like a propaganda or a. What am I thinking of? The white one where you have to pay extra to attack.
Yeah, Ghostly Prison.
Yeah, Ghostly Prison.
Well, there actually is one, Koskin Falls.
Yeah, I think making it as costly as possible to swing at you because of a bunch of different curses and crap like that to make it really, really inconvenient to swing at you, but also goad other things, I think is a great idea. Especially because Ghoulish Impetus, even if it's $3.30, it will do an incredible amount of work in this deck because when the creature dies, you just bring Ghoulish Impetus back to the battlefield, just right away.
Yeah, we're just really just trying to make people hit people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that, we build this kind of deck a lot, and under $50, it is a great way to make sure that everybody else damages themselves so much that you just kind of swoop in at the end and finish them off. I like when games don't take too long because people are obliged to attack each other. People sometimes think it's rude to be the first person to attack. And sometimes people are like, why am I the first person? You know what? Whatever gets people attacking, don't make fun of people for rolling dice. Sometimes that's the only way they'll attack.
Crawl Space is $4. That might be a budget cut later. We'll leave it in, but that's probably a budget cut
We
later.
can find other ways. We can just run a bunch of death touch creatures too. Like we could just
We could do
make it
that.
really-
Like I said, I like the idea of just making it as inconvenient and terrible as possible to swing at
to
us.
attack us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just make them look like
Nettling Nuisance. Whenever one or more fairies you control deal combat damage to a player, that player creates a 4/2 red pirate creature token with this creature can't block, and it's goaded for the rest of the game. I love this. This is great.
Oh my god, this is worth putting other fairies in the deck, is it not? Jeez,
Yeah. Oh, it absolutely is, because if you smack someone with if you hit someone with 3 fairies, they make 3 pirates that are 4/2 pirates that are goaded, which is nuts.
You know what is really super duper embarrassing?
Oh my
I've never
God.
seen this card before.
I haven't either. I've never seen this card in my life.
How have I never seen this card? None of you told me about this card.
This is crazy.
Kirby Vox says, did you find this on Gonti's page? Be honest. Did you find it on Gonti's page?
I saw it in the comments.
No, I'm asking.
Oh, did someone else find the guy? Yeah.
In chat, who made the suggestion?
If they did, I don't even care because it's an amazing
You just
card.
did. Oh, you did not. Sick.
Let's see. So
Nice.
4 black. Arvinox the Mind Flail isn't a creature unless you control 3 or more.
Hey, that's a great suggestion.
It is a great suggestion. Arvinox the
This
Mind
was a card
Flail.
neither one of us have seen before. That's why Scryfall's great.
Yeah.
EDH Rick sometimes won't find the stuff that people aren't playing but should be that Scryfall finds.
Yeah. Arvinox the Mind Flail isn't a creature unless you control 3 or more permanents you don't own. Okay, good start.
Cake.
At the beginning of your end step, exile the bottom card of each opponent's library face down. At the beginning of your end step, okay? For as long as those cards remain exiled, you may look at them, you may cast permanent spells from among them, and you may spend mana as a man of any color to cast those spells.
45 cents.
In the deck.
That is why this deck is going to be... That's why we're going to be able to run $3 cards in this deck.
Yeah. In the deck
every card that is 50 cents is an absolute banger.
Yeah. Do we run the other Gonti?
You're building Arvinox right now. That's cool.
Gonti Lord of Luxury.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think we want that Gonti.
Yeah.
Brain Stealer Dragons. It's almost $4.
Cunning Rhetoric is 50 cents, dog.
Yeah, Cunning Rhetoric is awesome. Yeah.
Strange times, but at least Cunning Rhetoric is 50
Cunning
cents.
Rhetoric is amazing.
Brain Stealer Dragon is like $4. I don't.
Intellect Devour. When Intellect Devour enters the battlefield, each opponent exiles a card from their hand until it leaves the battlefield. You may play lands and cast spells from among them. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana as a mermaid color. So you can exile something from everybody's hand, which I think is kind of neat. And it's spells you don't own, so it doesn't even matter. Doesn't matter where they come from. Let's see here.
Oh, you know what else is $4?
What's that?
Herald of Leshrac. I really like Herald of Leshrac, but it's like $4.
So we don't
Thieving Amalgam. I realize every creature in the deck is going to cost 7 mana, but you got to put Thieving Amalgam in this deck.
The thing is, though, is we want to cast them to get the treasure token.
Counterpoint, Thieving Amalgam.
I mean, Thieving Amalgam's good. Thieving Amalgam is good, but it doesn't trigger our Gonti. We want to cast.
It triggers itself when a creature you control but don't own dies.
I know. Okay, we'll put it in.
If we cut it because it's 7 mana, fine, but don't cut it because it's not a ridiculously good card in this deck, even though it does something our commander is also trying to do in parallel with our commander.
Yeah, that's fair. And it is on each opponent's upkeep, which is kind of a lot.
It's 7 mana for a reason.
Yeah, it
is a snake that is a 6/7 because it can't be less than 7 mana. It's just a messed up magic card.
Yeah, it is.
Changeling Outcast. Ooh, get your Changeling Outcast while they can. Everybody's gonna be like, isn't that a dragon on turn 1 when I want to turn my Jasper on? I don't know. I think any dumb Changeling that costs a mana is gonna be. Definitely don't pull those out of your bulk. Any 1 mana Changeling shouldn't be in your bulk. Let's say that. That's a free finance tip.
All right.
Blightwing Bandit. Let me look at what that is. But yeah, Herald of Leshrac, if there's room for it, I like it in the deck. I like taking their lands. I actually put my Smeagol deck back together and made it more of a landfall deck.
Oh, that's a good point. Nashi has ninjutsu. I didn't even think about that. That might
Oh,
be good.
Blightwing Bandit is a fairy.
I want to go through a mono black fairies search in through this at some point.
Yeah. No, that's so dumb. We can't put fairies in there just because sometimes they make pirates. That's so dumb.
It is dumb, but there are other good fairies
that card were
but there
our
are a bunch
sure.
of fairies that like steal stuff though. That's like their deal.
That's their whole deal. I
part of their deal.
agree, and I don't know why.
I think fairies would actually
pretended
probably
we were going to do that search. That's a great idea.
I mean, like I think fairies would actually probably play pretty nicely with this.
What about Rakshasa Debaser? That's another card that costs like 6 mana and is just dumb in this deck.
Put target creature card from defending player's graveyard on the battlefield under your control.
Yeah, plus it has Encore.
It has to attack, which I don't love.
It has Encore.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
The Magic is not hard because your creatures have to attack. It's hard because they always have blockers, right? Like if you could just swing with impunity,
I suppose,
and like not care if the creature died because it's going to get 2 triggers from swinging and then being reanimated. So like,
how about Author of Shadows? Enters the battlefield, exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards. So immediate graveyard hate. Plus, choose a non-land card exile. This way, you can cast a card for as long as your main's exiled, and you can spend mana of it, those mana of any color to cast it.
Yeah. So are we going to play Draugr Necromancer in this deck? Probably not, right? Because that would require us to send a bunch of
snowlands. Yeah, the snowlands are problematic.
It's a $50 deck with a $50 mana base.
Yeah, so I was going to say the snowlands make it immediately problematic. We could put Lead Mirror in here though to get a nice little mono black mana dork in here.
Do Lead and what?
Lead and Mirror.
Lead and what?
Mirror.
Lead me?
Me. Okay.
You don't remember I led me a joke from earlier?
Lorcan Warlock Collector.
I can't do Boston without just like ending up sounding like Jimmy Fallon on SNL in the late 90s, and that's nobody wants to sound like Jimmy Fallon ever.
Whenever a creature card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you may play life equal to its mana value. If you do, put it onto the battlefield under your control. It's a warlock in addition to its other types. If a warlock you control would die, exile it instead. That
is another 7 mana, dude.
It is.
See, I think that doesn't really play nicely with what we're trying to do here. I think Tiny Bone's the pickpocket.
I see Lorcan as
wood.
People are swinging, shit's gonna die, and then I can steal it. Feels like Lorcan works like perfectly in this.
But what do you want to pay that much life for?
I mean, if it's 4 mana and you eat 4 life, who cares? If it's 7 mana and you can pay 7 life, it's probably really good. Then it's a Tali.
We're talking about Ally Me?
Then it's a Tali, and you get to cast a bunch of shit and make a bunch of treasures.
It's not a Tali.
It could be.
It can't be.
Why not?
The only way this card's a Tali is if you flip it a Tali.
Huh?
Is that what you're saying? You're saying like
if a Tali primal conquer
7 mana and 7 life for their Tali?
No, you don't have to pay 7 mana and 7 life.
You pay 7 mana for Lorcan.
Right. But then you go and steal their Atali and you get 3 casts of other
deck.
And then you get 3 casts of other people's shit, which is 3 Gonti triggers.
If we have a glut at 7 mana, you're probably going to cut the $4 card. So this is probably staying in the deck over Herald of Lishrak, and that's why I'm upset. 100% Herald of Lishrak is the pettiest of pet cards. In fact, pet card, Herald's in.
Okay.
If this is a $54 deck, I don't give a shit.
Actually, we're going to go double pet card and put Phyrexian Obliterator in this deck because it's the most, honestly, Phyrexian Obliterator is maybe my second least favorite card ever printed. It's miserable to play against.
It is. They thought that 4 black pips meant you wouldn't get hit by this enough to get sick of it.
Yeah, no, you do.
There's like, this will never see play in limited.
Just kidding. It's amazing.
Just kidding.
Phyrexian Obliterator is second place on my most annoying cards I hate playing against the most right after Hullbreaker Horror.
It's wild that your group is hurting each other with real Magic cards instead of game changers. That's what's so cool about getting rid of game changers. Like, instead of being annoyed by a Ristic study, wouldn't you rather be annoyed by a mind's dilation? Huh? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody in my group has ever cast a Ristic study. Not once.
Make them banned. Oh God, what was that? My podcast partner Corbin. What was that card? Skull Storm, the one where like they lose half their life, and it has Storm for the number of times people have had to cast their commander.
Yeah.
Oh, Chaos Wand. I do like Chaos
So,
Wand. I think that's perfect.
Tiny
for
Bones
this
the
deck.
Pickpocket is way too expensive, but Tiny Bones Bauble Burglar. Whenever an opponent discards a card, exile it. During your turn, you may play cards you don't own with stash counters on them from exile, and the mana money type can be spent to cast those, and then you can pay 4 and tap them to make each opponent discard a card.
Bony boy, did you burgle those baubles?
I don't hate this, actually. This is a good way to. This is just a good like mana sink if you got nothing to pay 4 mana on. It's 82 cents.
Unless I'm remembering wrong, isn't Xantia black and red? Or is there another mono black Xantia? What if I use the power of EDH Rec to type Xantia in?
What if you use the website?
Research. Xantia Sleeper Agent is black and red. Perhaps you were thinking something else. Or you were thinking Xantia would be good in this deck, and you're right. Xantia would be very good in this deck.
Is it?
No, it's cool. It's cool,
budget?
Larry. I appreciate you making suggestions, and I appreciate... Yeah, so no, Sleeper Agent is just a 3/3. It's not great. Rev is $44. Sick.
Thrilling.
Why don't you put on the budget filter next time you come on this page?
How about
Oh, I do like
thrilling?
Nargle's what's that card? Nargle's something?
Nargos Conscription. I was just looking at that.
Yeah,
Nargos Conscription.
That's a great card.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's 5 mana though. That kind of sucks.
Everything in this deck's 5 mana. You can't start being.
I know you can't be
now.
stingy now. Thrilling Encore, another 5 mana.
I told you to put a 1 mana Tiny Bones in the deck, and you refuse, but you'll put a 7 mana Demon in there.
How about Thrilling Encore, a 5 mana instant? Put onto the battlefield under your control all creature cards and all graveyards that were put there from the battlefield this turn.
I feel like we have ignored the suggestion Eldest Reborn a few times. Eldest Reborn's probably going to go in the deck. That's not a card we're going to forget. I'm assuming that's on Gonti's page.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Chaos Wand. Let's not forget Chaos Wand, because that is what we want. It has chaos in the name because.
What are we not supposed to forget?
What? Chaos Wand.
Oh, I forgot.
You forgot.
Yeah.
Did you just pull a Rudy Giuliani and forget something you swore never to forget?
I have no idea.
You don't know whether you did that?
Minions Return. Nice, easy way to steal shit. Eldest Reborn. Let's see what else we got here. Necropotence. Kind of wild that Necropotence didn't make it onto the Game Changers list.
I guess.
I mean, I would call that a game changer.
It's not an annoying card. Someone says, I'll draw 10 cards with Necropotence. You take your turn. I'll pick up the pieces of cardboard. Somebody drawing cards with Ristic Study has to say, hey, do you pay the mana? 10 times to draw that many cards. Necropotence is 1/10 as annoying as Ristic Study.
Ristic Study, but Ristic Study,
but Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
But Ristic Study is a game changer.
Yes.
They're both annoying.
No, I'm saying that Necropotence is 1/10 as annoying.
But it is annoying.
Somebody drawing 10 cards is annoying.
You're annoying. Maybe you should be a game changer.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
So I need to get invited to the Players Invitational, win the Players Invitational, design a card that makes it through design, but
I'm going to catch up on a couple of these. I'm going to catch up on some of these. I'm assuming this is a Mana Dork. I don't know. Sure, I guess. I don't know. Let's see what else we got.
How many
Chaos?
Did you put Chaos Wand in the deck? And
I'm working on it.
Are you doing a bit where you're
right
never
now?
Look at Chaos Wand.
Oh yeah.
I can never tell with you, bud.
That's the beauty of it. Let's see. Sleeper Agent. What is that? Sleeper Agent. When it comes into play, target opponent gains control of it. At the beginning of your upkeep, deals 2 damage to you. Oh, okay. So you just play it for 1, and then someone else gets it. and then they just eat 2 damage.
Mm-hmm. But then they have a 3/3.
It's $2.
It
feels like a lot for that. Knowledge pool. Knowledge pool.
I remember the creature has to deal combat damage. Otherwise, like throwing something like Sleeper Agent around the table could be pretty funny.
Let's see. Enters
like honestly, if Gonti triggered on this 2 damage from Sleeper Agent, that would actually be a really ridiculous suggestion.
Oh, that would be nuts. Enters the battlefield. Each player exiles top 3 cards, and a player casts a spell from
that is a deeply toxic Magic the Gathering card. There is no situation when Knowledge Pool's like, well, actually, this might not be that bad in here, right?
So if the player does, you can cast another link, because you can just cast anything from the Knowledge Pool. So, like, they could cast their own shit, but they could also cast other people's shit, which triggers Gonti.
Yeah, as long as you're not running something like Lavinia with Knowledge Pool, it's not that bad. It does give treasures with Gonti. I'm coming around on Knowledge Pool.
I'm in on Knowledge Pool.
I kind of thought that there's like no situation where it's not deeply toxic, but actually, that's a good interaction. I like that a lot.
It is a good interaction. Fateful Handoff. Draw cards equal to the mana value of target artifact or creature you control. An opponent gains control of that permanent. That is kind of wild. I kind of like that a lot.
Because you want them to gain control of the thing,
right?
And the cards are just gravy.
The cards are gravy. Yeah, I kind of really like that card. Okay, cool let's look at fairies. Because I think fairies in mono black might be our ticket here.
But yeah, and they're probably going to have like quite a few cards we would run.
Yeah, so like Rankle. Like Rankle is great.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. What else do we got? Whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, you can have a give creature -1. Don't care about that. A couple of them that do that. There's Dream Spoiler Witches, and then there's just Dream Spoilers.
Yeah.
And they do the exact same thing, and it's the exact same card.
They spoil dreams.
But it's 2 different cards that do the exact same thing. One's just a fairy wizard, one's a fairy warlock. Okay, so fairy blade crafter. Whenever one of our fairies you control deal combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it. When it dies, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, or X is its power. I don't hate that.
That's like fairies only.
I suppose. Yeah. Blightwing Bandit. When you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, look at the top card of that player's library, then exiled face down. You can play with that card for as long as it remains exiled. Yep, we want that.
I think we would run that card either way.
Yeah, Blightwing Bandit we want for sure.
Yep, that was suggested in chat.
Oh, was it? Okay. Bitter Blossom is great, but it's $15. I would throw Bitter Blossom in this so fast, but it's $15.
You know what would be really good in this deck?
Shut up. Don't even fucking say it. I swear to God, if you say it, I will mail a giant confetti cannon to your house, and it's going to go off as soon as you open the door, and it's just going to be confetti cannon. It's going to be all the confetti, but it's also going to be like covered in dog shit if you say Gaia's Cradle right now.
Gaia's Cradle. Would Bitter Blossom be good in this? Would a $22 card be good in this deck, Levi?
Yeah. Enters the battlefield, target player reveals X cards from their hand. Where X is the number of fairies you control, you choose one of those cards, that player discards that card. Not great.
Not for 3 mana.
Nah, not good enough for 3 mana. Let's see here. What else we got? Stingblade Assassin is a good way to smoke someone's creature. If it was dealt damage this turn, which lots of stuff will be dealt damage.
Look, Levi, Larry's in chat suggesting a card that isn't on our cards or commander's color identity again.
Yeah.
Puppeteer Clay.
Nightshade Singer is a 1 mana flyer fairy. It's got evasion. Do what you need. I mean, it's just right there.
Evasion.
It's got evasion. That's what matters. You know what?
I mean, I guess like hitting them with a creature with Gonti out is non-trivial, I guess.
Barrow Naughty. 2 mana, 1/3 flyer. It has lifelink as long as you control another fairy, and then it has fire breathing.
Fairy breathing?
Fairy breathing.
No thanks.
Let's see here. High Fate Negotiator we don't care about. Puppeteer Click?
Puppeteer Click's a messed up Magic card. I'm
Yeah,
Is Gonti in Gonti? Yeah, Gonti should be in Gonti.
Gonti is
pretty
in
sure.
Gonti is in Gonti.
No Turgrid though.
You're
But
Turgrid.
Gonti goes in Gonti. It wouldn't be Gonti without Gonti.
Yeah,
right?
Gonti's in Gonti.
Yeah.
We've got some Gonti.
Otherwise, we're implying that Gonti doesn't believe in Gonti.
Yeah, we've got some Gonti on Gonti action in this Twitch stream.
Hot Gonti on
hot Gonti on Gonti action. Hot Gonti action.
Gonti's gone wild.
Gonti's gone wild. All right.
No, Gaunt wild.
Gaunt wild. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Ghouls Gaunt wild.
Karvik the Punisher is an interesting one. Whenever you commit
I'm not done workshopping this bit.
Great. Whenever you commit a crime, exile up to one target black card from your graveyard and copy it. You may cast the copy. I mean, you can get stuff from your graveyard.
That's fun as hell, dude. Are we gonna commit crimes with our deck full of fairies?
Because committing crime is just targeting a permanent or a player. I don't know that we are actually.
But like,
I mean, we could put stuff in, but I really don't think we're going to be committing very many crimes.
What about something like Nettling Imp?
I don't think
that makes creatures attack. The only thing about that is like Nettling is worse than goading because they can attack you.
Yeah.
Which is why I like as much goad as possible. Are there any other? Let's look at some more fairies. There have to be some fairies that commit crimes. Although Karvik, like, it doesn't
like Final Sting Fairy,
like, generically kind of. It's not like Karvik really like does anything specifically good with this deck. It's just good in a black deck.
I mean, it's good in a deck that is going to have stuff in the graveyard and target things. So like
I'm not saying we're like we're capable of committing some crimes with this deck. I just don't think we're gonna trigger Karvik enough.
No, I don't think we're gonna trigger it enough, and with guaranteed having good stuff in the graveyard worth copying. So
True enough.
I just don't think Karvik's got enough value there for us. Let's see. When Flitting Gorilla dies, each player mills 2 cards. Then you may exile Flitting Gorilla. When you do, put target creature or battle card from your graveyard on top of your library. Let's see here. Marsh Flitter. You'd make 2 Goblin Rogue tokens. I don't want that. Eye Collector is just a 1-mana 1/1. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, each player puts the top card of their library into their graveyard, which that is actually okay because we've got stuff to pull things out of other people's graveyards in this deck.
Do we?
Yes, we do.
Okay. The eyes have it.
Thrilling Encore is one of them.
Oh, Puppeteer Click does commit a crime. That's in the deck, man.
Also, Nurgle's Conscription. Let's see. Old Flitterfang. If a creature dies,
that just sounds
flying at the
beginning. Old Flitterfang sounds like not a term of endearment.
At the beginning of each end step, if a creature dies this turn, create a food token. We don't really care about food in this deck.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. Marry the Killing Quill. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, exile it with a hit counter on it. Assassins, mercenaries, and rogues you control have death touch, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may remove a hit counter from a card that player owns in exile. If you do, draw a card and create 2 treasure tokens.
I thought you said marry, kill, or quill, and I was like, quill has got to be the strangest euphemism I've ever heard.
I think that one's interesting, but I mean, lots of fairies are rogues, but I don't know if we have enough fairy rogues. Sedgemoor Witch.
Are any of our fairies not rogue? Oh, I bet a bunch are wizards.
Sedgemoor Witch would be good. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with when this creature dies, you gain a life.
Oh, sick, yeah.
Yeah, we want
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I want that. Misfortune Teller enters the battlefield or deals combat damage to a player. Exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, create a 2/2 black rogue. If it was a land, create a treasure token. Otherwise, you gain 3 life. I like that.
Roaming Throne. Yeah. Fairies.
Classic. Let's see.
Roaming Throne would be good in this deck.
Well, yeah, I bet it would.
So would Orcish Bowmasters.
So would Dothy Voidwalker.
I'm just mocking you for not putting the budget filter on.
I know.
It's your fault this is happening. Maskwood Nexus is only $1, which is good because I like it as a budget builder, and I like it because that is a card that should be in more hands. Maskwood Nexus causes lots of problems on purpose.
We could put that in.
Maskwood Nexus?
Yeah.
Why the heck not?
Make sure everything's a fairy.
Yep. Even their creatures.
Change the target of a target spell with a single target. You lose life equal to that spell's mana value. I don't love that.
I wish it were even cheaper. Imp's Mischief is very funny.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't want it for $2. If it was like a 50-cent card, I'd do it.
But so, like that's like your only blue counter or your only black counter magic, really.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
It's just sort of like they're gonna, but like that changes targeted removal or something like that.
Yeah.
So like, what good are you gonna do changing that?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything we're gonna do with that. Yeah. That's all that useful. Dark Dabbling, Sugar Rush. It's a funny card.
Violet Paul. Now that's crazy.
Destroy target non-black creature. Put a 1/1 fairy.
I think it would be on this page specifically because it's fairy type.
It's fairies. Yeah. It's a 5-mana kill spell.
It is itself yeah. Oh, I'm very well aware, and that card was an absolute beating in limited. That card was ridiculous.
I'm sure it was, but that's also a 5-mana Doomblade.
Yeah, I'm not.
Which also Doomblade is a there's no reason Doomblade gets the hate it should. It's a perfectly fine magic card.
They made it their business to make Doomblade obsolete.
I guess, right? But like Doomblade is fine. Like you can put it in the deck and it's fine.
But would you rather just build very carefully and figure out the perfect ratio of Fatal Push to something else versus just
you could just grab Doomblade and just have a really nice spell that's gonna
Conspiracy. That just makes creatures fairies. I guess we're making more pirates.
Yeah, we're making more.
I don't think that we want to run a do nothing enchantment that only. Yeah, I don't know. Conspiracy is budget. It's a good suggestion, and I really like this fairy nonsense we're doing, but perhaps not.
Is Cunning Rhetoric budget?
Yes, Cunning Rhetoric is budget. If it's not in the deck already, it's because
it's in the deck. Yeah, it's in the deck. Don't you get fucking get sassy with me. It's in the deck.
I will get sassy.
I know you will. I know, but
ooh.
Shut your mouth. Village Rites, always in the deck. Let's see. These are all instants. I want to go to the enchantments. Rakish Crew makes mercenaries.
We should play instants and sorcerers if you're going to play Sedge Mage or whatever.
Yeah, we should. Fine.
Or we just cut that card.
No, we can do it. There's the Dark Realms, Mutilate. Let's see here. Ninjas and Rogues get mana still in turn. Don't care about that. Let's see here. Ego Drain. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards a card. If you don't control a fairy, exile a card from your hand. That is... What? Why is that even... Why is that?
Because it's acceptable in a fairy deck.
But why is that last sentence even there? You're never, ever, ever in a million years going to cast that without controlling a fairy. There's no reason whatsoever to cast that card if you don't control a fairy.
Yeah.
So why is that even there?
I don't know, dude.
I don't either. This is your fault.
What?
Yeah. It's your fault.
How is this the first I'm hearing of that?
That's your fault?
Yeah. If it's my fault, shouldn't I be on top of that? Shouldn't I be actively making it worse?
I don't know. You do that to most things.
What's your favorite band? Is it A Flock of Seagulls?
Is it a flock? Is that an actual band?
Yeah. Oh. And then look up what their lead singer's hair looks like, and then look at what your hair looks like, and then that's why I asked that question.
Oh. I don't know. My hair is just naturally curly, so that's just what it is. Let's
see. So you didn't run anywhere today? You didn't run so far away?
I did not.
Okay. Dead air. You can't have dead air. This is where I vamp. I don't know what we did to shut chat down.
Dead air is like your bat signal to start saying something stupid.
Dead air.
You're like, dead air. Can't have dead air.
When have I ever said anything stupid besides calling our show Nuts and Scratchy?
Do you really want me to answer that?
You can't name a single time.
Do you really want me to answer that?
Grasp used to be a quarter, and
now
I'm so proud of it.
$13.
Yeah, because it's the best Magic card ever printed.
Okay.
It's so good. You get their soul ring.
Oh my god.
Just go get their soul ring. Just do it. It
Oh my
makes
God.
people so mad.
You get their soul ring.
It makes them so mad.
Oh,
I don't know why.
that would make me so angry if you took my soul ring.
Well, you probably don't play Soul Ring, but like,
I don't.
imagine you had a Soul Ring and somebody played it.
Luke, well, that's because my hair previously during band practice was all over the place. Now it's somewhat normal. I've taken a shower since then.
That's a great story. I wish I hadn't made the dead air comment, because now you're gonna just not talk. You're just gonna filibuster the show. Oh God, can't stop talking. Jason will say something. Oh, I took a shower.
Yeah, I see. You need to keep talking so you don't.
I know what's entertaining.
I
had band practice. I will subtly tell people I'm in a band by mentioning band practice, like not at all an asshole would do. You like my song?
No. I would know.
Bonds. What's the
I
other
would
one?
know if it's a good song because I'm in a band.
What's the other one?
What?
Not polluted bonds. The other one that costs 5. They have to pay 5 life or discard a card every time they play a spell. What's that card called?
I don't know.
Chad will get it before you.
Probably. Let's see. I should turn the budget filter on. Let's see here.
Oh my God, am I gonna have to Google this? Unreal.
Unreal.
Painful quandary. Thank you, Larry.
Unreal. Am I gonna have to do this? Unreal.
Am I gonna have
Unreal.
to do my own research on my own show? What?
Let's see here. Is Professor Onyx worthwhile?
You might guess that Thieving Amalgam and Staff of Eden were suggested, but you'd be half right. Thieving Amalgam was very much suggested by yours truly. I don't even know what Staff of Eden is. I assume it is a card from Levi's favorite set, so that's why I don't know what it is.
I'm pretty sure it's from Assassin's Creed. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's also a $3.34 card, but when it enters the battlefield, put target legendary permanent card not named Staff of Eden from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. And then you can tap it to draw a card for each permanent you control but don't own.
Okay.
It's a good card.
So
it is 6 mana.
every 6 mana card in this deck is good. That's why they're 6 mana.
Yeah. We should probably,
I like
we
Revenge
should
of Ravens, and maybe we play some more shit like Painful Miasma. Revenge of Ravens is a card you should look at.
I've seen this card. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses life and gains a life. Sure. Actually, I want to look at similar cards because I love things like this that make it miserable to attack you.
Yeah, just to make yourself a little less
Like
appealing than
like hissing miasma.
Miasma.
No. I'm not playing this game with you.
It's miasma.
No, do you need an inhaler?
That would be miasma, which is what you said. What are you talking about?
I'm making an asthma joke. That hasn't
but like
one of those hasn't been made since 2004.
Miasma. I said miasma, which doesn't even make sense.
Your asthma.
You could be like, you could have said it in a Scottish accent. Miasma.
Oh, miasma.
Inhaler, do you? Something like that. But you didn't.
I got that hissing miasma. Let's see.
Stop it. That was what voice was that?
It's Australian. What are you talking about?
Pretty good. I was expecting
was.
Scottish, so when you hit me with Australian, I'm like, that is a terrible Scottish accent.
No, it was an
dog.
Australian accent, and it was pretty good. God. Marques's Decree. Cuscan Falls. What is this?
Cuscan Falls. We talked about
$12.
That. It's on the reserved list.
Hella $12.
Yeah. Do you know why?
No.
Because it's in King Makar, the gold curse decks.
Wow. Good story.
No, it's a black ghostly prison. It's very cool. But it's on the reserved list, and it's actually rare. Believe it or not, Homelands have
Yeah,
rares.
we should probably get some ramp into this thing since we are playing a pretty high mana curve.
We're a team. It's a wee asthma. It's a hissing wee asthma.
Okay? Yeah, my asthma, you asthma,
it's
we
our
asthma. He, she, me, we asthma.
Wee asthma sounds like a game Or you just simulate having asthma.
You have the Wiimote and the other, and you have the nunchuck in the other hand, and you,
No, you have
and you have to sit there and just hold yourself
the
in
Wii thing you stood on. You just put that in your chest and have your friend stand on it. It's like this is like having asthma.
the nunchuck is just the inhaler. You just have to sit there and just.
We did it. We invented the worst product.
Asthma simulator for the Wii. Oh shit!
Did you call it Wheeze?
Yeah, I did. You could call it wheeze.
I'm trivializing a condition I suffer from. That's how I cope.
Wiize, wheeze.
Vow of Malice and Vow of Torment would be the third and fourth copies of such effects,
which is okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I think we should absolutely run all four. We're running the impetuses, impetusi,
impetuses. More like impoopuses. All right. Actually, they're good cards. I shouldn't say that. Are we allowed to talk
Vow
about
of Malice?
Are we allowed to say
Italian?
Are we allowed to say poop on this?
We're allowed to say poop?
You just said it out loud. You just said it out loud. If we get in trouble, it's your fault. You said it out loud.
We get demonetized.
You said it. You said it out loud. I want to look at curses.
You said this crack I keep smoking is good shit, and you can't make references to feces on Twitch. We have standards.
I want curses. That's what I want. I want curses. How do we get? I'm going to turn the budget filter on.
The budget mono black curses.
Yeah,
it's probably 2 cards.
I want less than or equal to $2. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, King Makar, fun. Actually, kind of.
Well, King Makar, that's why Koskin Falls is.
That's actually
I actually had a King Makar deck back in the day.
I know, we've heard about it 100 times.
Why don't you play ways to tap King Makar? Are you putting King Makar in the deck for realsies?
I don't know. I was thinking about it.
It's kind of fun.
I mean, we can swing. It's worthwhile to swing at people, and he's automatic removal. We don't really have a good way to. We could put like a Relic of Legends in this thing, and you just have free tap him down to add mana.
Maybe tapping a creature and like a Springleaf Drum isn't terrible in a deck where we're just trying to like play all their spells and all our creatures are 7 mana.
We need ramp and mana rocks. I'm gonna throw King Makar in. I think we might be able to.
No, that's so dumb. Okay, King Makar's fine, but like Springleaf Drum.
No, we don't need to put that in. But let's put a relic. We can put a relic.
I don't care how many Crone horses we have.
We can put a Relic of Legends in though. Relic of Legends is an objectively good card.
I hate that that's correct.
Okay.
Well, Relic of Legends also doesn't it let us activate
I mean, you can
activated abilities on permanents we play theirs with Gonti?
No. So no, Relic of Legends is any color mana rock, and then
exactly. Any color mana in our mono black deck. It's only relevant when they have stuff we can activate.
But the more important part is you can tap a legendary creature you control to add mana. That's the part we care about.
So I talked about a card that interacts with the card exactly as described, and then you contradicted me by describing.
We were talking about using like activated abilities.
Yeah, if they have a mana in the activated abilities on cards of yours or theirs you take with Gonti, you can activate them with Relic of Legends. Otherwise, why are you playing any color mana rock in a mono black deck?
Yeah. If you grab the new loot, you could do something with that.
It's non-trivial.
Yeah. But even if you don't need it for that, using it to tap down legends to get mana is good. I mean, Relic of Legends is such a good mana rock. It's good even in monocolored decks.
Sure.
Sure.
But we're not a monocolored deck, are we? We're a whatever we can steal, we will try to cast deck, and that is so much more fun than being mono black.
Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may pay 2 life and exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it has 1/1 and has toxic 1.
So I'm not sure about token makers, but I think if we can make our creatures harder to block, that is probably going to pay off.
Yeah, probably. Do we have any life gain in this? Not really. Otherwise, like Tivesh would be a fun little guy. Okay, here we go. I want to look at curses here. So Trespasser's Curse, great. Ooh, excuse me.
Trespasser's Curse is
Torment of
probably
Scarabs.
the suggestion in chat that made us go to this page in the first place.
Relic is like $3, isn't it? I thought it was like $3. I could be wrong.
Every card in this deck's $3.
You're $3. Whenever
we said that a lot. We said, it's fine. We'll have
here you go.
$53 at the end, and then it's
Curse
90.
Curse of Shallow Graves. Curse of Shallow Graves. Whenever a player attacks the enchanted player with one or more creatures, that attacking player may put a 2/2 zombie onto the creature onto the battlefield tapped.
Tapped.
Yep.
Solid.
Word. Let's see here.
Encourage them to attack each other and give them more creatures to beat each other with. I think that's the kind of stuff we want.
How about Painful Quandary? Whenever an opponent casts a spell, that player loses 5 life unless they discard a card. Yeah?
Are you making fun of me for not being able to think of that name before?
Well, I wasn't. Honestly, I wasn't, but now I'm gonna.
You missed that entire exchange?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a private moment between chat and myself, and that's why you come to Twitch. If you're watching the VOD later, hey, thanks for supporting us by watching the VOD. But if you do come and hang out, we will validate your parasocial relationships with us by interacting with you when you type stuff in chat. And if you give us money in the form of like a subscription or something like that, or cheering, there's bits, there's stuff.
Nettlevine Blight is
if you do that, we'll perform.
Nettlevine Blight is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Enchant creature or land, and then enchanted permanent has at the end of your turn, sacrifice this permanent and attach Nettlevine Blight to a creature. So all it does is it just slowly wreaks havoc through your just slowly blows up all your shit.
Blight is you're gonna put it on somebody's thing.
Yeah.
And they're gonna say up your butt, and they're gonna put it back on your thing, and you're gonna be like, okay,
no,
same person.
No. At the end of your turn, sacrifice this permanent and attach Nettlevine Blight to a creature land you control. You can't bounce that shit around.
Oh, what was I thinking?
So what you do is you would
get a necrotic plague.
You would just put it on someone's shit or whatever, and then for the rest of the game or until they blow it up.
It's that one person then. Like I don't like 6-7 mana curses that like hurt one person and don't do anything to anybody else.
It makes one person. It makes one person easier to hit with. With our goading.
It makes one person your enemy.
That's fine.
Okay.
I guess I'm not worried about that.
But like Overwhelming Splendor is the same thing. Why would you pay 8 mana to just like make one person not be able to play Magic the Gathering?
It's 6 mana. So dumb. It's 6 mana.
Overwhelming Splendor, 6 mana?
Nettlevine Blight is 6 mana.
Okay. Listen, I'm all for stealing their cards, which pisses people off a lot, but like Nettlevine Blighting one person in particular, it seems like a little bit too extreme to do to only one person.
I mean, I guess.
Leave it in. What does chat think? If chat's
if you play Nettlevine Blight, are you an asshole?
No, it's not even you're being an asshole to that person. It's just
we're playing Goad though. So like when
but it's more like what it does to like the balance of the game. You're just like it's.
I mean, all they'd have to do is sacrifice the creature, and then Nettlevine Blight goes away.
I guess.
All they have to do is just block with that creature, and then it dies. Nettlevine Blight only comes back if they sack it at the end of the turn. It's not that hard to get rid of.
So you're basically getting a land for 6 mana and a creature that they were going to block with anyway.
At minimum you're getting a land. If you put it on a land, you're going to get that land plus something else guaranteed. Yeah.
So that sucks.
I mean, I guess, but
because like I get it. I don't run mass land destruction because like I'm not going to blow up everyone's land with an Armageddon because
they don't blow up everybody's land. But
so like.
How about Criminal Pass? If we're putting assault suit on Gonti, then Criminal Pass makes some sense because commander creatures you own have menace, and this creature gets XO, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense at that point.
And it's commander creatures you own, so it's like the entire time it's on anybody's board.
Yeah, that's right. Sick. Even if he's somewhat controlled by somebody else, he still gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's very cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Let's see. Enchant creature has at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this creature. When enchanted creature is put into a graveyard, Its controller chooses a target creature one of his or her opponent's controls. Return Necrotic Plague. Necrotic Plague would be kind of funny, but that's
if you don't want to win this deck, what could we put in this deck to make you want to win this deck? Because I feel like this deck is building itself so well that, like, I think we have some room for some tomfoolery. I think we can do something a little bit silly with a couple of cards if anybody has something they want to do.
Let's look at Agent of Shadow Thieves. What is
that?
Yeah,
backgrounds, and any background is going to be pretty stousy.
Agent of the Shadow Thieves.
The same, like John Arenicus Assault Suit, it triggers on every attack phase. This is kind of the same way.
Yeah, Agent of Shadow Thieves
gives a buff every. So like
Agent of Shadow Thieves is great. Especially
like
especially
it's 3 times better in this deck than it is in most decks. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Lantern of Insight. Each player plays with the top card revealed, and then you can sack it to target player shuffles their library. That is such a fucking dick move card.
Raven's Crime. Isn't Raven's Crime a discard? What am I thinking of?
I don't remember. Revenge of Ravens. I think Revenge of Ravens we've already got.
Well, hey,
Raven's Crime. Well, Raven's Crime is a card. It's a 1-mana sorcery. Target player discards a card and has retrace.
I assume they were thinking Revenge of Ravens, but
yeah,
you get the ultimate compliment. Anytime someone comes late to chat and they suggest a card that's already in the deck, it's like, congrats, you've been watching 10 seconds and you already got the vibe. So yeah, Revenge of Ravens, you nailed the vibe.
Yeah. Okay. We're at 49 cards currently.
Wow.
With no lands, so 49. So we've got about
like 11
to 13 more cards. We need to get
Gonti's page.
Yeah, say we need to get some card draw / some ramp.
Yeah, I guess. Do we want to tutor for the assault suit?
That might be tough in black. Black doesn't do very good getting artifacts.
What? Black has a 2-mana artifact tutor.
Does it really?
Yeah, it's called Demonic Tutor.
Okay, let me clarify. Cards that we can put in this deck.
Beseech the Queen.
You're gonna do what's the Queen?
What's the 4-mana one?
I don't know. Predator's Hour. Until end of turn, creature control gain
I know,
menace.
it's such a bad card. I would never play. It's like the most popular.
Whenever this creature does
4-mana
combat
EDH
damage,
card of all time.
whenever this creature does combat damage to player, exile the top card of the player's library face down. You may look at that and play as long as you're exiled. Oh, it's fine, I guess. I mean, if you got the menace is nice.
Yeah, that's the one I couldn't think of.
Predator's Hour.
What?
Oh, Wishclaw Talisman.
Oh yeah, Wishclaw Talisman. Isn't it Witchclaw or is it Wishclaw?
Wishclaw. Wishy.
Because witches don't have claws.
You're a claw.
What?
Let's see here. Fairy Dream
I
Thief.
told you that in confidence.
I know. And I exposed it
you
to
said
the
it
world.
in front of our entire viewing
And I
audience
said,
of
get shit on.
as many as 10,000 people are watching us do this right now, and you just told
Here
them
we go. Mastermind Plum. Whenever you cast a spell, if mana from a treasure was spent to cast it, you draw a card and lose a life. Guess what our commander
Guess what
our commander does? Guess what our commander does? He makes treasures. Guess who's getting windmill slammed into this deck? It's Mastermind Plum.
Hey, read all the masterminds. They're all sneakily very good at some specific deck.
Yeah.
They're all like really messed up cards.
Mastermind Plum.
People just didn't vibe with that clue at all, but I don't care about clue particularly, right? But like, it was fun to play the clue game where you had to like deal combat damage to be able to make an accusation. It was just like regular clue with like an EDH game. It was great. So like those the lands are cool. Those dual lands are really cool. And the masterminds are all pretty nasty. So like,
you want to take a look at Hoarding Broodlord?
Buy that clue thing.
You know, play
Hoarding Broodlord.
Hoarding
Why?
Broodlord, because I don't. It's in chat.
Horde Lord.
Hold the door. Horde door. Let's see.
Hoarding Broodlord cost 8 mana, so
woof. Do we put in the sad?
Oh, but
do we need to put the sad robot in this
spells
deck?
you cast from exile have convoke. I think that is the.
Oh, sure.
And you search your library for a card and you can play it. So it does like kind of two things. Wait, how many are we casting spells from exile a lot? Yeah, I think we are.
Yeah. Gonti
I think
exiles
Hoarding
him.
Broodlord, controversially.
I'm putting the sad robot in the deck.
Oh, it itself has convoke. I missed that. Somehow.
Oh, it has.
Broodlord
It has convoke.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that changes.
100%.
Yeah, Hoarding Broodlord. That changes
That's a. I'm sorry, Dr. Sky.
Yeah, that changes the math.
I was not familiar with your game.
that changes the math entirely. Let's see here.
Sick.
Yeah, good
With
suggestion.
all our dumb fairies and
Yeah. Let's.
The Clue movie was good. Oh my goodness. I wish I had been alive to go to the theater not knowing what ending I was going to get. That would have been a cool experience.
Gift a card. Turn important reveals their hand. You can choose an online card from it. To exile that card. If the gift was promised, you may cast that card for as long as they remain in exile.
Oh, I
Cruel Claws.
I mess
Heist.
heavily with Cruel Claws Heist. That goes in the deck for sure.
It's a good, I mean, it's good for like one-on-one formats, but is it good in Commander? You promise.
Yeah, you can cast a card from somebody's hand.
I guess, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's only 2 black mana. It's 50 cents. Yeah,
It's 2 black mana and you cast a card out of their hand. That's so funny.
Petty Larceny. It has free running, which is good because we're swinging with Gonti with Assault Suit. Look at the top. You can cast it for its free running cost. Look at the top
This
2 cards.
deck has to be good without Assault Suit. Are we building a deck that sucks without Assault Suit? I don't think we are.
No, definitely not. But we can. But we're going to be swinging.
We have a deck that's very funny with Assault Suit, I assume.
It's
right?
extremely funny with Assault Suit, but it's not required to have Assault
Yeah,
Suit.
I'm assuming.
No, but Petty Larceny. So the free running cost is awesome because we're going to be swinging with Gonti. So look at the top 2 cards of an opponent's library and exile those cards face down. You can play them for as long as they remain exiled. And mana of any type can be spent to cast them. Create a treasure token for 2 mana. It's great.
Yep.
It's awesome. Free running is such a good mechanic.
It is a good mechanic.
Victimize. Do we like Victimize?
Potentially.
I mean, it's pretty much always a good card, but it just depends on how good it is.
We've already included all the creatures we're going to put in the deck, and like.
Yeah, well, you could sacrifice somebody else's thing to go get 2 of your own things.
I mean, I guess, but like.
I mean, it's like
it'll make sense when we put all our creatures in Architect, I think, and take a look at them. It'll make sense whether they're owned or victimized or not. We'll be able to tell right away.
Yeah, I think because I mean, it's the floor for Victimize is always pretty high. Like it's pretty much impossible for Victimize to be a bad card.
Victimize is a good Magic card in a situation where you are sacrificing your best creature to get 2 creatures back. Like, imagine how good it is when
it's better when you can
token or their creature.
It's better when someone already blew up your best creature and then you sacrifice a token to get your best creature and something else.
Yeah, the best thing
back.
you still have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or theirs. Yeah. We have Ghoulish and Parasitic Impetus already. Beacon of Unrest.
Yes, we have those. Xander's Pact.
We have Nurgle's Conscription. I think if we're gonna play a 5-mana reanimation spell, let's play it and let's have it be Nurgle's Conscription because that's very good.
Yeah, Dream Thief's Bandana.
Is Bloodthirsty Blade in the deck? I think it is.
Dream Thief's Bandana. Whenever an equipped creature does combat damage to a player, look at the top card of their library, then exile it face down. For as long as it remains exiled, you may play it, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell in the deck.
Sick.
In the deck. Oh, Thieves' Tools. Interesting. Is Gonti's power low enough?
Gonti's a 3/4.
Then it can't be blocked if you have Thieves' Tools.
Correct, Mundo. Plus, all our fairies are unblockable. Plus,
also,
it creates a treasure token.
It creates a treasure token on enter, which
Thieves'
is
Tools
awesome.
is very good, and it's
incredibly
it's
good card.
very budget. It's the kind of stuff we need to be playing in this deck. So
yes, it is. Idol of Oblivion, Inspiring Statuary, River Song's Diary. It's Doctor Who. Fuck that card. Bloodthirsty Blade. Quick creature gets 2 and it's goaded. Then pay 1, attach it to target creature an opponent controls. That seems fun as hell. Commander Sphere will grab. Oh, Dead Man's Chest is a really
it's worse than you think.
No, it's better than you think. I've played Dead Man's Chest to great effect before. I mean, I don't know. I've had a good time with Dead Man's Chest. We don't have to put it in, but I've had. If
you've had good times,
I have
with a bottle of rum.
Like I've I've popped Dead Man's Chest for some really good shit.
All right. Well, yo ho ho, throw it in. We're not great for crimes, but that's fine. I don't care.
We don't have like a lot of crimes. We have some
a lot
crimes,
of
but not a ton. Wishclaw Talisman. We were gonna grab
I ain't
that.
no altar boy, but
Wishclaw Talisman
specific crimes
is $1.65 going in the deck. Let's see. Relic of Legends. Is it not budget? I thought it was like $3. Yeah, it's $2.50 in the deck.
that's not budget.
Close enough. It's an incredible card. It's really good.
It's an incredible. Yeah. Is the $3 card good?
That's what you sound like.
You know what we need? We need a $2.50 3-mana rock for our mono black deck. That's something we need to put in.
But it makes a lot more than 1 mana though.
So do you.
Thank you.
So does like 3 and Dynamo. And by the way, we can pay mana as if it's mana of any color. So why don't we just make a ton of colorless mana?
We can.
It's like a little late.
I mean, it's not. We can just put Thran Dynamo in the deck.
What's that land?
Thran Dynamo's more expensive.
What?
It's more expensive. It's $2.91.
What is?
Thran Dynamo.
Well, something like it.
It's $3.
Spring or something. I don't know.
$3.
What about Murraganda Raceway?
I was looking at that one. Because that just turns into an ancient tomb if you hit people enough.
Yeah. I got a gold one today. They look better in person.
Honestly, the gold cards
I do like
they're pretty sweet. Yeah.
But like the only reason I would run it is because the basics, like having a gold border makes them easy to find with like a fetch.
Right. Yeah.
So if you're going for a basic, it's like bam, it's a gold. But like the lands are so ugly. Like all the full art basics are so ugly. I don't want them full art.
Right.
Which is too bad because the gold is kind of cool. But when they were showing us pics on like Blue Sky, and they're like, it doesn't look like highlighter in person. We swear it's cool. Wake the Dead? I like Wake the Dead.
Is Coveted Jewel funny as hell in this deck?
Yes.
Enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, mana 3 mana, any 1 color. Whenever one of our creatures an opponent controls attacks you and aren't blocked, that player draws 3 cards and gains control of the Coveted Jewel. I think this is hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very cool.
Coveted Jewel in the deck. Myriad Landscape. Okay.
Heraldic Banner?
I think that might be too expensive.
Oh, because it's 3 mana. You don't want to pay 3 mana for a mana rock in our mono black deck?
Like dollar wise. I think it's like $5.
Do we want to play Temple of the False God?
Oh, it's 40 cents. Oh, fuck.
I do not like Temple of the False God. I think it is always worse than Murraganda Raceway,
now it's always worse than Murraganda Raceway, but before that existed, Temple of False God was like fine. It wasn't great, but it was fine.
My opinion on that card was that it has caused me to mulligan more hands than Serum Powder.
Wait, what?
You never want Temple of the False God in your opening 7.
No, that's terrible.
So, like, it makes you mulligan the hand. And Monarchy stuff could be, I don't know. I think if we don't have a specific way to pay off from it, it's just noise to an extent, right? Like,
I mean, the specific way, we're going to be swinging too.
Yeah.
The specific way is you keep getting it back.
There's like a monarch creature that they sack a creature or something.
Yeah.
But that's 5 mana too. Like everything's expensive.
Let's see here. I'm going to do a quick Scryfall search for Monarch in mono black.
Yeah, I think, did we put Diabolic Tutor in the deck?
No.
Oh, Scheming Symmetry's funnier. Scheming Symmetry says we get Assault Suit plus somebody else gets something funny. So people could pitch you on the funniest thing they could go get out of their deck, and then you go get the Assault Suit. So, I like Scheming Symmetry a lot. Just like playing it as just like a dumb card. Just Cunning Rhetoric's in the deck.
It's also $7.
Scheming Symmetry is more than?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. That would be such a cool. I do like that sort of effect.
So Court of Ambition is too
Dang.
expensive. Court of Lockthwain is $4, a little too expensive.
I don't think there's any.
I mean, you'd want to play one of the courts because that gives you the perpetual benefit from playing it. But I don't think
There's no non-clunky way to introduce the Monarch in mono black. I don't think without.
Oh,
like,
well,
committing to it.
Marchesa's Decree is already in the deck. When it enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. When a creature attacks you or a planeswalker can control that creature loses 1 life.
But do you want to build? Do you want to play any other?
I don't. I mean, like, I would want to play the courts, but the courts are too expensive.
It was worth looking at for sure.
Oh, definitely, yeah. When Crown of Gondor,
I like the suggestion. We always get good suggestions on this show, and I think it's because we make fun of people, so they're afraid.
Yeah, there's not a lot of other like
chance to give a medium suggestion.
There's not a lot of Monarch payoffs in black that don't involve the courts, and the courts are too expensive.
The courts are so good though.
The courts are awesome.
What is the 5-mana creature?
Someone said I've seen Dimir House Guard in the chat a couple times. Dimir House Guard.
Not gonna look it up.
3 in a black with fear, sacrifice a creature, regenerate Dimir House Guard. It has transmute. Discard this card, search your library for a card with the same mana value, which is 4. So you pay 3 and go get Assault Suit. Yeah, you could just go get Assault Suit with Dimir House Guard. Yeah, I actually really like that.
Custody Lich.
Custodial Lich, yeah. So Custodial Lich is...
How much is that? I gotta look. I had to look up.
It should be cheap. Yeah, 55 cents. We could put Custodial Lich in the deck.
Yeah, if you already have more cases Decree, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
No Mercy is not budget.
No. It would be in the deck if it was.
No Mercy. Get it? Ha, no thank you. It's too expensive. Ha ha ha. Ha ha.
We could put Butcher and Malik here in the deck. I love me some Butchered.
Butcher. Butcher Malik here.
Love me some Butcher Malik here.
I'm 7 mana. I'm the least expensive creature in your deck.
Jason, do you also have funny voices for certain specific cards because they have a funny name?
No. What?
You don't? Really?
No.
How do you not?
I don't play Magic with the same 3 people every day.
Well, it's more just like you see like a funny card that has a funny name or something like that, and you make a voice for it.
No.
Like, really?
I don't do anything entertaining.
Like Hans Eriksson.
That's insensitive.
Or like Borlean Ranger. Actually, the best one is to do the Old West accent when you play Laughing Jasper Flint. Like, well, if it isn't Laughing Jasper Flint.
Why are you an old-timey prospector?
You two-timing, no good sons of bitches out here laughing Jasper Flint.
Dadgummit, Jasper Flint, I told you if you made me come down.
I done told you.
We'd be digging 2 graves.
See? It's fun.
No. Why is he a prospector? Give me my gold vein.
Everybody out west is a prospector. All of them.
Really?
Yes, everyone. I'm stereotyping. Fuck them.
What about the man who played piano in the saloon? Was he a prospector?
Yeah, he's prospecting for claps. And maybe the clap. I don't know. I don't know this guy's life.
Paid him. I don't think anyone plays the piano for claps. That's how
he's playing it for money. He's prospecting for money, but he's just doing it for...
Well, there ain't no gold for playing piano in the saloon, but we can pay it exposure.
Yes, Valgavoth is hella out of budget. Not even close. Rakdos, I think, is probably in budget, but... Laughing Jasper Flint.
We're going to just do that voice the whole time.
Yeah.
Welcome to Nuts and Trashy.
Welcome to
the
Nuts
2
and Trashy.
old-timey prospectors here to teach you how to use idiom.
Sounds like a bit from... Sounds like a skit from the Red Green Show. I think we can put this thing in Architect
one of the
right
shows
now.
at Six Flags.
Oh, yeah, where you go to like some shitty amusement park and they've got something like that. Yeah.
Every 15 minutes you get sprayed with water from a log flume.
It's just all the dirty log flume water. And it's like somehow
ran past Fairy
It's like
Dream
somehow
Thief.
Sticky.
Fairy Dream Thief.
What does Fairy Dream Thief do? We've got
it steals dreams.
Gonti,
and
Lord
Thief of Dreams, right?
Doing weird shit. I don't know. I probably shouldn't put shit in the title. We'll put weird stuff.
Have you been getting into the moonshine again? Have you been drinking out of a giant jug?
Where,
with three X's on it?
Levi's been in the moonshine again. I told you the voices are funny.
No,
They're
I
hilarious.
don't hear anyone laughing.
Shut
This
up.
is terrible. This is bad.
You shut
radio.
up. They're funny.
This is an $80 deck. You
Shut
suck
your
at
mouth.
this.
What was it again? Dream Thief, Fairy Dream Thief, right?
Yeah.
Fairy Dream Thief. I thought we put this in the deck. Oh, when enters the battlefield, you surveil 1, then you can exile from your graveyard and draw a card and lose life. Yeah, that's good. We'll put that in.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're not a fairy deck.
I'm going to punch you. I'm going to punch you so hard.
Why?
Because you're being dumb.
Why can't you solve your problems with dialogue if you were really a good deck builder?
I only solve my deck building problems in the parking lot at 3:30 after school.
Right?
I just beat up anybody that says.
Well, we could look at EDH rec data to see who's right, or we could just go beat the shit.
Just go beat the shit out of each other.
Oh, they locked the doors and won't let us back in the LGS. Good call. On account of us fighting.
Tell me you've never thrown hands at an LGS before? Let's see. We are at 80.
I'm afraid to. I don't want to fight some kid with nothing to lose. I don't want to be sued by anybody who knows what my Magic cards are worth. How about that? How about I never want to, like... Nope, I don't have any money, just these cards.
So Herald of Lishrak has been pet carded into this deck.
Oh yeah, yep.
And and the cost of the dollar value cost of Herald of Lishrak is exactly how far above $50 we are. So
I said if it's a $54 deck,
you said exactly that. You said
exactly
you said
that.
fuck
Are
it.
we at $54?
We're at $54.33.
Well, that means we're done.
Basically.
Half hour.
So we're at 60. Well, we're at 68 cards, and we do have
Blood Hustler?
2 lands. So we've got currently 66 non-land cards, which means we've got 34 lands in the deck, but we've got a pile of mana rocks. So we probably need to cut, I would say 2. I'd say we need to cut 2 cards.
2 cards.
2 cards. Because I think 36 lands with this many mana rocks, I think is a good spot.
I think an average mana cost of 8.3 with this many mana rocks is probably foolhardy. What is our average mana cost? Can you look up that data for us?
I can't.
Yes, you can.
Because you didn't say please.
Please look up the data.
Okay. The
Pretty
data.
please.
The data says. Where am I looking at? Mana curve. It spikes at 4. Let's see. Where's my average mana? 3.55.
There's no way. Listen.
We played a lot of those little
no
2
way.
and 3 mana.
Every creature in this deck costs 8 mana. Are you kidding me?
But we played a ton of 2 and 3 mana.
That is a healthy looking. That is like when my doctor sees my
It's almost like we're accidentally good at building decks.
It's like when my doctor sees my cholesterol and he's like, "How?"
We see a pile. We have a pile of 2, 3, 4 mana creatures and 2 and 3 mana enchantments.
We accidentally. It just
and
every time we build a deck and we
rocks.
add 45 8-mana creatures, I'm positive the average.
And then it comes out and our average mana value is 2.0.
All right.
Math. Blood Hustler. What is this? Okay, so actually, now that we've got our.
You could get rid of Wishclaw. Yeah, but Wishclaw gets
no. We want
no.
We want Wishclaw.
Gets us Assault Suit.
Yeah, we want a tutor for Assault Suit.
We need Assault Suit.
Yeah,
this deck is funny with Assault Suit.
Yeah, it's fine without Assault Suit, but it's way funnier with Assault Suit.
I wasn't gonna suggest you look up Blood Hustler because there's no polite way to say that's a terrible suggestion.
I mean, you just said it.
Oh.
Okay, the giveaway is going to be !Gonti, so Gonti.
Do we need cuts? Is this deck built? Are we gonna?
We need to cut 2.
While the auction's going.
I think we need to cut 2 cards.
Okay.
Right. The giveaway is live! !Gonti to win this Gonti Lord of Doing Weird Stuff deck.
Do we need 2 cards or 2 cuts?
We need 2 cuts because we're at 68 cards right now. We've got 2 lands in the deck, which means we're at 66 non-lands. So we're at 34 lands.
Don't mind me just being gaslit by chat. That's fine. That's A very funny thing to do to a show
Cutting
host.
2, and one of them is not going to be Wishclaw. Let's see here. I think Custody Lich can come out. It's 5 mana, and
Why don't we just send the people all 102 cards and they can decide what to cut? I don't want to do this.
No, that's shut up. We're cutting Custody Lich.
No.
Executive decision. We're cutting Custody Lich.
Why is Dimir Houseguard in there? Is it because
we
can transmute into a
it can transmit it into an assault suit.
Okay. That is the only reason I would run that card.
I mean, you could also transmute it into any of these artifacts. You could transmit it into any artifacts.
I mean,
actually, it's just a card.
Something into something that's not assault suit. But why would anybody waste their time not getting assault suit when you get assault suit?
Right, you can get assault suit. So why would you not get assault suit? But like if you already had assault suit, but if you like already had assault suit, you could transmute it into about anything. Really, you could. You could transmute it into the other. You could transmute it into King Makar or the other Gonti or Rankle or the Sad Robot if you really were desperate, I guess, or Cunning Rhetoric. Or Cunning Rhetoric.
4-mana card that was like Masterwork of Ingenuity, so you could make another assault suit.
Oh, yeah.
I guess. Oh, you know what?
We need to cut one more card.
You couldn't run it in the deck, but I guess. What is it? Phyrexian Transmuter or whatever? That would work.
Yeah. Need to cut one more card. Let's see. Let's look at our artifacts. We got Arcane Signet, Assault Suit, Bloodthirsty Blade, Chaos
the
1.
Most boring Magic card in the history of Magic: The Gathering. Solemn Simulacrum.
We need the ramp though.
Solemn Simulacrum is.
We need the ramp, and it also dies and gives us a thing, and we're gonna be swinging and blocking probably. We want it. No, we want it in this deck. It might be boring, but we need it in the deck. We need the ramp.
I just want to run something fun. Knowledge Pool is very funny in this deck.
Knowledge Pool is hilarious.
Knowledge Pool is it, but the funny thing is, it's normally such a toxic card that like.
So here's our artifacts.
Not toxic here.
Arcane Signet, Assault Suit, Bloodthirsty Blade, Chaos Wand, Commander Sphere, Coveted Jewel, Crawl Space, Dream Thieves Bandana, Expedition Map, Knowledge Pool, Relic of Legends, Thieves Tools, Wayfarer's Bauble, and Wishclaw Talisman.
Why Expedition Map?
To go get a land.
What land?
A swamp.
You don't run a $2 expedition map to go get a swamp. Why don't you just run like Wayfarer's Bauble or something?
We have Wayfarer's Bauble.
Dude, cut the expedition map.
Okay.
That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous inclusion.
Okay. Well, that's it then. That's all of our cuts. Let's run this thing through.
I mean, map is great if you have like, oh, what is that? No, even that's Cabal Stronghold's even kind of expensive. So, like, even Cabal Stronghold wouldn't even be that good.
No. Let's go ahead and...
This deck is stupid, by the way. I kind of want to win this.
Just buy it.
No, I want to win.
It's $50. It's $50. You don't have to rob somebody of a deck that they've rightfully won.
They didn't rightfully win it. I want it. If I enter this and I win, I have a 3% chance of winning.
If you win, then I will just pick a different winner because I have that power.
That is... bullying.
Yeah.
So I never get to win just because this is my show. I quit.
Bullying isn't some universal bad thing. Okay, so let's see here. Opening hand, we got a couple swamps. I guess the tricky part about goldfishing this is going to be the fact that we can't simulate what other spells we're getting from other people. Each player mills a card. Now let's go mulligan that. That's better. We can do that. Let's keep that. Draw a card. Swamp. Then we'll go to next turn. Draw a card. Swamp. Lead and Mirror. Kind of like, I should zoom this thing out.
But like, you just cast Gonti, right?
Huh? Next turn I'll cast Gonti, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to...
That's all this deck wants to do is cast Gonti.
Cast Gonti and then cast other people's shit. Like, that's all there is to it. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, next turn. There's Assault Suit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonti.
This isn't real life. We all know this isn't real life.
Next turn. There's Rankle. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then hilarity ensues. So next we're
And
gonna
then we
start.
suit up.
Yeah, and then we suit up.
This is how the deck will play every time.
That's how it will happen
enjoy.
every time.
Yep.
Including having a nice Kaya's Ghost form in hand in case you want to just make sure Gonti's fine. Oh, shit.
Well, this deck is stupid. I want to win this.
It's pretty funny. Okay.
I am going to buy. So I do take a couple of our decks with me when I go to places.
Yeah.
So
you get to play against that Liberty Prime deck.
That sounds so stupid. Oh my God. Hey guys, these are real ducks, but like, no, legitimately, sometimes I'll be like, I will spend $50 of my own money to inflict this pile on somebody. And this is the kind of pile that I live to inflict on people. I want to hit them with their own cards, goad them, make them hit each other, and spend a pile of treasure while I'm doing it.
Yeah. You played against that Liberty Prime deck that we built a while back. Unfortunately, I didn't get Assault Suit out, but like it worked pretty good.
Assault Suit's very funny.
It is. I wish I would have gotten Assault Suit out in that game.
I like funny. I think Magic the Gathering should be funny. And when you're playing 1v1 Magic for prizes, nobody wants you to be funny. Yeah. But when you're playing EDH, it's best if the game is hilarious. So I think Assault Suiting and just generally making everybody hit each other.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. All righty. We're going to pick the winner of this Gonti Lord of Doing Weird Stuff deck. And that winner is going to be Number Voyage 307. Congratulations to Number Voyage 307. You are the winner of this Gonti Lord of Doing Weird Stuff deck. I think it's going to be really fun. I mean, obviously, we've on 100% of playtests, we we ramp into Gonti and then draw right into Assault Suit. And that's what this deck will do every single time. So congratulations to Number Voyage.
100% of our testing confirms you get that natural turn 4 Assault Suit.
That's exactly what happens. Yeah, this is going to be a fun little deck. So.
Yeah, I hope. And this goes for everybody who wins a deck. Let us know if it was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
The goal of this program is to show off the features of our website. If you get a functional deck out of it that's fun to play, that was an accident, and we're really happy to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We seem to screw up and accidentally make a good deck every week.
I brought three decks with me to MagicCon. I brought the Gearhead deck from last May. I brought that Liberty Prime deck, and I brought Three Dog. And that 3-dog deck, that 3-dog deck wiped the floor in a game with an Dragon deck and 2 other high bracket 3 decks.
That's funny.
Wiped the floor. It wasn't even close.
3-dog is just silly.
He's crazy. Yeah. And I was like, this is a $50 budget deck. And I didn't even do the pingers thing. I just made a bunch of soldiers with the cartouche. The cartouche was crazy.
That cartouche is nuts.
It's crazy. So
3-dog is Zada in a trench coat. Ow!
Yeah. Luke played against not mine, but our 3-dog deck or whatever.
You could have done the Pigger thing. You just refused?
I never drew it. I never drew any of the Pinger enchantments. So it just turned into a really good 3-dog deck. And it worked out really good because 3-dog had a cartouche, something else, and a ethereal armor. So you do the cartouche, make soldiers. Do the next thing, make more soldiers like a bird or something like that. And then the next one, you take ethereal armor and you make 8 ethereal armors and just kill everybody. Disgusting. We have a new follower, Mr. V696969 Classic. Love it. Thank you for following.
Tell us your ATM pin.
It's a lot of 6-9s for the ATM.
Well, you got a username and I don't know.
Yeah. Well, congratulations though to Number Voyage 307 for winning this Gonti deck. Pretty cool. I said when you get it, play it and let us know how it is. See if it's any good. I think it's going to be good.
Of course it's good. They're cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
You play their cards, of course it'll be good.
Yeah.
Let them do all the heavy lifting. My deck's bracket 1. Why is that? Because I play your cards.
But my deck's a bracket 4. Guess it's a bracket 4 then.
It is now. I just cast an Eldrazi off the top of your deck.
Guess it's a bracket 4 now.
I got Eldrazi today.
It's a great way to. Okay, you know what? Here's a good. This is a good. We're done about 20 minutes early. Did you use the bracket system in Chicago, and what did you think of it if you did?
I did and loved it. There are two things about the brackets that were obvious, and one thing I didn't expect. And the thing I didn't expect, I'll talk about first. I didn't expect it to be so good for classifying why a game experience was bad, right?
Yeah.
I talked about this on the podcast this week. I'll tell this story again. It felt like before you're just like, I just kind of, I don't know. I didn't enjoy that game. It felt like the Red Bull player just like cast this whole deck and we just kind of like watched him. And really when you go back, it's like, well, this deck didn't even have a soul ring. And then this person played, Ristic Study and then just drew a bunch of cards and then always had a full grip. And it kind of felt like, playing a casual game with your friends, but somebody just has an old deck that had a bunch of game changers in it. They really did change the tenor of the game. And the fact that I was playing something that was a little bit more, flavorful felt like it was a mismatch. But like, from my perspective, it was like, well, I have a flavorful deck that's just a dumb Fallout thing. And his is like, well, this is a flavorful deck because I use Tim's to deal damage to my commander and, just have a full grip. But like, both of the people would be like, oh, this deck is a 7. But then when you really get down to it, it's like, well, I literally don't even include the cards that would make for that game situation. Or
right.
Sometimes people are just like, hey, I want to play I want to play 4s. And I don't want somebody to end up in this pod when we're all playing 4s. And then they're like dead in 10 seconds. That's no fun either when you're playing a 3-player game because somebody brought dinosaurs to like a damn near CEDH game. Right. So like, I think the thing I didn't expect was to be able to be like, oh, well, this was clearly a bracket 1 and a bracket 4, but they felt like casual decks to both builders. So that really contextualized why some games feel like real mismatches. I did expect it to replace the Rule 0 conversation. That was a notice that shouldn't have been put on players, but they thought they had to do Rule 0 because that's how webcam games go. But like your LGS isn't game nights. You're sitting down with people that don't necessarily have the vocabulary to tell you what's going on with their deck.
Right.
So I felt like the brackets actually were good, and it kind of worked out. Though it gave people the vocabulary to talk about what their goal was with the deck. It replaced Rule 0, which was a bad thing for it. And what I didn't expect, it actually helped us talk about why bad games were bad and help us sort of like build our decks different or build our pods different. So I think that the brackets they're almost there. I think they're really close to nailing it. I was surprised.
Yeah. So all weekend, I want to say I played 12 games over the weekend, and there wasn't a single game that I played that I felt like one or two decks was way above the other ones. I thought all of my games were pretty evenly matched, no matter which way we were doing. I did not see any of the angle shooting I think a lot of people were afraid of with the brackets, where you're just like,
and someone's like, oh, this was a bracket 4 deck, but I took out all the game changers. Bracket 1, here it comes.
It's a bracket. It says it's a bracket 2 deck, but it just doesn't have that or whatever. I would say So there's an interesting. I was thinking about this, like in the moment. I was thinking that the one thing the bracket system doesn't really cover right now, it doesn't address like deep synergy. So like, if you look at any individual zombie card or elf card or something, like it doesn't pick up very well on kindred synergy. So like zombies, elves, werewolves,
but like.
So
no,
hold on. Just let me finish. So, like, there isn't any individual zombie card or elf card or werewolf card or whatever that is in itself a game changer or anywhere close to being worthy of playing the game changers. But obviously, elves and zombies and werewolves and wherever else, they all like have their own synergies built in where they get really powerful really fast if you build that in. But as I got to thinking about this more, I'm not sure if it needs to account for that. I think it'd be better if it did, but if they can't find a good way to account for that, I'm not sure if you necessarily need to, because, for example, that 3-dog deck is like a 1. Like if you like it, based on the card selection, and like if you throw it on Moxfield, I think maybe on Moxfield or on Architect it's a 2. But like that deck hung easily. I mean, that deck stomped some high 3s or whatever, and potentially even a 4 in case that Ur-Dragon deck. So like it can hang way above where its power level would say it should be, because 3-dog has a lot of built-in synergy that makes him really difficult to deal with, unless you get rid of him right away.
That's not a problem.
So hold on. Let me finish let me finish my thought. What I'm saying is it's not that big of an issue, though, because like as soon as I played that 3-dog deck against what we'd said that 2s and 3s, whatever else, and then I played that deck and it smoked that table. I was like, okay, it might be a 2 like by the hard definitions, but it is easily a 3, and if someone wants to play 4s, it can probably still hang at a 4s table. So that's on me to say, okay, this is really like a 3, or maybe it's not a 4, but it's like a 3 for sure. It might be a low 4, but so like the larger point I was trying to make is like, I thought that the deep synergy, not accounting for deep synergy, was going to be an issue. I don't think it's going to be, as long as people continue to responsibly rate their decks. One thing, I guess,
I wish you had told me that was the moral of the story, because you started out like, I'm going to spread some misinformation on the, and I don't know.
I was telling the story. You just tried to jump to the end.
But like, yeah, that's a point that needed to be made. I'm glad you made it, but like I was gonna if you didn't.
So
I guess,
so
right?
I think
because I think what that sentiment was like echoed in chat a lot, and that was echoed like before the event. I think people say, "Oh, it's broken because the
so worth noting is that
calculate my deck's score because it doesn't count for deep synergy," but like they want you to build with deep synergy. They don't want you to build with
staples. Yeah.
Like the really obvious, dumb, boring cards.
So
right?
Someone asked in the chat, this deck currently is rated out as a 2. I think that's probably a fair spot for it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it'll play out better. If you play at the beginning of the game, like that one play test game that we played, it'll easily hang with 3s, no problem. But just based on what's in the deck right now, because it's kind of goofy, a 2 is a fair rating. They
invented brackets so people would stop using the term power level, because that doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't.
Every deck's power level is 7.
Right.
Every deck.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's about the experience, and I think that's what they did. I think they did a good job with on the brackets, having used them now. Is that you're defining experience, not power level. Now, there's absolutely a correlation with that, but you're not gonna get to where you want by talking in terms of power level.
But also, a bracket 1 deck struggles just as much as a bracket 4 deck against you getting 3-dog down with a cartouche on it. Nobody removes 3-dog. Nobody removes the cartouche. Nobody removes the
and I think one of the
to draw, which is like
one of the enchantments I had like gives him hexproof too. So it's like he is like untouchable, and it's like, well,
but like that's how the deck is built though. Like if you play an elf and then play an elf and then play an elf and then play an elf, that's good too. Right. But like they want you to play an elf and play an elf. They don't want you to rat the board twice, play a Smothering Tithe, and pass the turn.
Right.
Unless you're in that kind of bracket, because that's the experience you want to have. But like as far as people saying, well, my deck is more powerful than this, it's not even about that, because any deck is powerful if you don't do anything to it.
Yeah.
So it's more like this deck is built to highlight Assault Suit versus this deck is built to just infinitely combo. Or finitely combo.
As like lots of people have made the point, is like in the end you can't stop bad actors. There's nothing you can do about that. But as when you're talking about people with with good intentions using this bracket system, I'm very happy with where it's at. We used the bracket system before basically every game I played this past weekend, and all of them were good. Now, here's an interesting thing that it did that did happen that I'm trying to piece together exactly what it means. Of those 12 games, I'm pretty sure I won 10. And that's not
everybody you play with sucks, including me.
And actually, so what? Actually, the one of the two that I lost was that game I played with you, where I lost like right at the end because he had exactly enough damage to kill me with like one card. Otherwise, I would have killed him. But so like even that was a close one. So what I've been trying to figure out is like, 'cause, you know, obviously in 12 games you should expect to win 3 to 4 of them, generally speaking, just based on odds. Now, part of it is player skill and part of it's whatever else. So I've been trying to parse together exactly what that means, that I won like 10 of my 12 games.
Statistically, you should have won 3.
Right, yeah. Statistically, you should win 3. Now, there's going to be variance in there just for whatever, but you'd expect to win 3.
So you basically won twice as much as you should.
I won over 3 times as much. I won 10 out of 12 games.
Oh, you said 10, not 7.
Yeah, so
wow.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because like I you know, all the games were close. I won lots of close games, with the exception of 3 Dog. That was not close.
Well, that's skill. You win a close game with skill. You win a not close game with deck building.
And maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just like, I'm better at the game than I think I am. But I did think about that afterwards. Like, well, if I've won 10 out of 12, like, does that mean I'm bracketing my decks wrong? Because like, I don't know, because I think 2 and 3 have so much overlap. Luke, of the 10 games I played, I won 1 of them. Riddle me that.
That's the same exact. We already decided it was a skill issue, Luke. We already said skill issue.
So like that was my like my quandary though, is like I don't think I did a bad job of bracketing my decks. I don't run game change. I don't know if I like my Ashling deck. I have Jessica's Will in there, and I think I have maybe 1 game changer in a couple other decks. But for the most part, I don't believe I own a single 4. All of them are 2s or 3s. Every single one.
I'm the same way. Well, I was cutting Smothering Tithe and that kind of stuff. I cut most of the game changers just because I don't like those cards.
Yeah, I mean, I cut them well before
the exception of Glacial Chasm. I wasn't even running that shit.
I also don't know if there was a card that was going to come off the game changers list, I kind of think Jessica's Will probably should be one of them. Because I mean, it's like really good, but I mean,
you win the game.
I mean, sometimes
it's arch enemy. If you Jessica's Will and get 13 mana and draw some cards, like that's the game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know.
But
either way,
if you don't win, the game's still different. It makes,
sure, yeah. I mean, I guess
you know what the brackets are good for. I can finally build some bullshit. I had the only decks I had that had like cut cards. I had Jeweled Lotus and Dockside Extortionist in not Gonti, Blim, because it was so slow. I can actually build a stupid jank deck now because I'm not gonna like get stomped by somebody's like Kenrith deck, right? Like the brackets finally allows me to make a bracket 1 or 2 pile that's just not concerned with doing anything except killing them with Blim, giving them like some cooked grenade like Midnight Oil. I think that's very funny, but the deck was too slow and you got like just, you know, killed by people comboing off. Yeah. You can actually build slow, stupid jank now, and it's so funny.
Yeah. But so I'm still trying to parse through it. I'm gonna say because all the games were pretty close and I just kind of won a lot of close games, I'm not gonna worry about it too much because I think, like I said, I think pretty much all my decks fall in 2 and 3, and in that 2 to 3 range, there's so much overlap there that, like, you know, if you're playing a 3 point, you know, if you're playing a 3 with a bunch of like 2s and everyone just agrees to it ahead of time, like, yeah, this is, mine's about a 3. It's like, okay, I'll play, you know, this one. It might be a 2, but it might be a 3. Like if you're playing in a game where everyone's like in that neighborhood, I don't I certainly was not intending to pub stomp, but I don't think I even like could have, just based on, you know, 2s and 3s being so close for the most part. And I don't know. It was kind of a weird like statistical anomaly that kind of threw me off, and I was thinking about it a lot. I was like, I hope
it's because you're a dirty cheater and you told everyone your decks were bracket 2, and then you 3-dogged them out of the game.
Straight up, the 3-dog one was like, I don't actually know how good this is, and then I played it and I was like, it's good. This is crazy. Like, so that one's kind of an aberration, but also the game that I played it, I was intentionally playing it like way. I mean, I played against an Ur-Dragon deck and a couple other like high-end decks too. Like, so I was even like underplaying it in that game.
Well, good.
But whatever. I mean, it's
good to hear our $50 decks are,
it's incredibly good.
They're built well.
Yeah. So I think I might have swapped in a couple more. Like I think I might have put like a Verge land in or something like that. Like I might have cleaned up the mana base just a touch, but for the most part, it's exactly how we built it.
If you wouldn't send someone a Verge, you can't play a Verge.
I know. So anyways, long story short, I'm a big fan of the brackets. I mean, they might tweak it a little bit. They could probably bump the game changers up to like 50 or whatever. But like for the most part, I don't play those cards anyway, so it's not really going to affect my gameplay at all. And like I said,
like a soft ban list. There's some stuff
I do too.
Like maybe the stuff doesn't need to be banned if it can like just go. That's kind of like it's baby steps toward a separate CEDH ban list. But like good, because some of the stuff that CEDH players want banned is stuff that like it doesn't make any sense to anybody else. So like let them just have their own ban list.
Yeah, because once they have their own ban list, then it is a full-on separate format too. So it's,
no, it's a these are banned in bracket 5.
Right, but if you have a separate ban list then it is functionally it's just another format.
Good. It is a different format.
It is. I'm not denying that at all. I don't play CEDH, but like they can do what they want. I don't know.
They can do what they want.
Whatever.
Yeah. Chat saying please no. I don't know. I don't think it matters because it was very important to Sheldon to keep it as one community.
No.
So it's whether or not that would be better or worse and for them or for us, that's kind of irrelevant. It's not going to happen.
No, yeah, they're not splitting it off.
They could have their own. They could ban Flash like they always wanted.
That'd be kind of wild though if they started if they actually split CEDH off and then they started selling CEDH precons and they started at like $600 or something stupid.
I don't know that.
I bet you could talk somebody at Hasbro into doing that.
I think a lot of CEDH cards are expensive because non-CEDH players lack creativity also. Right? Like
sometimes.
Now that's not fair. Like expensive cards are expensive because they're very good.
Because they're good,
cards.
yeah. Just because they're good. There are lots of expensive Magic cards that are literally only that because of artificial scarcity. But it is what it is.
Those would have to be bad precons, or they would just be ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. Is like CEDH precons, and they start at $1,000 or something stupid. Like whatever.
Just add Mox Diamond. And you're ready to go.
Yeah. Well, everybody, we're going to call it for this week. Thank you for watching. Congratulations to Number Voyage for winning the Gonti deck. We'll be back again next week to build another deck. Yeah. So everyone, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys again next week.